evening, good morning, or good afternoon to you, dear listener, dear watcher, dear individual. You're tuned in to the Midnight Radio, broadcasting from somewhere between the living and the dead. I'm your phantom broadcaster, Makeeya, the ghost that refuses to rest. It's good to know that you made it back. I'm so happy, and tonight, the spirits are here. They're listening. They say Halloween is the night where the veil grows thin, when memories whisper a little louder, and even the ghosts get a little sentimental. So let's spend this next haunted couple of minutes together. The living, the dead, and everyone in between. Just like the first time, I've actually gathered a few letters tonight from those who couldn't sleep, and maybe one or two that came from elsewhere. I honestly haven't planned out my segment names and stuff, so we'll build this up as we go along. I was thinking of using Letters from the Sleepless for this letter segment. What do you think? Letters from the Sleepless for the letters sent in on the Midnight Radio. I think that sounds pretty cute, but do let me know what you think. Anyway, starting tonight's letter of the Sleepless is a letter from someone who overthinks everything. Dear Phantom Makeeya, it's late again. I've been lying here for hours, replaying every stupid thing I said today. I keep thinking everyone secretly hates me. I know that sounds silly, but I can't make it stop. Sincerely, from someone who overthinks everything. You sound like a soul haunted by your own mind. Funny thing is, most of the people you're worrying about are probably worrying about the same things. I used to think everyone was watching me too, until I realized most people are too busy fighting their own ghosts. So, let your thoughts pass. Let it pass through you like the fog. They can't hurt you if you don't hold on. Next letter we have here. Let's see. It's from someone called the Lady in Black. Hey Makeeya, I went to a Halloween party tonight, pretending to be fine. But when I got home, I just sat in the dark, staring at my reflection in the costume. I don't feel like myself anymore. Maybe, just maybe, I do like the mask better. Sincerely, with all my love, the Lady in Black. Ah, the mask. Funny, isn't it? How easy it is to become someone else for tonight, for a night, or for a temporary moment. And how hard it is to be yourself again right after. But maybe that's the trick of Halloween. Sometimes, pretending gives us the courage to face the parts of ourselves we hide in daylight. You can keep the mask on, my darling, if that helps. But remember, the face beneath it, it deserves to breathe too. It deserves to be known. It deserves to know the light. So, whether it's putting on the mask or letting the face shine through, I hope it works for you, my love. Let's see. The next one we have here. It's from another Ghost 14. Dear Midnight Host, Halloween has always made me lonely. I see people laughing, dressing up, and having a good time, but I just feel invisible. Like I'm a ghost at my own party. I'm a ghost at my own life. What can you say about it? With all my love, another Ghost 14. Oh, honestly, I know that feeling very, very well. Being surrounded by noise and still feeling unseen. It's quite a quiet kind of haunting, really. It's its own kind of haunting. Something that's a bit terrifying, if I may say so myself. But listen, being a ghost doesn't mean you don't matter. Sometimes You're just meant to drift until someone tunes into your frequency. And tonight, another Ghost 14, I see you. You're not invisible here. Not at the Midnight Radio. Not with me, your phantom broadcaster. So I hope I can keep you company for the rest of this evening. This next one comes from Blue Tarkman 9070. Dear undeparted radio host, I just want to thank you for reaching out from beyond the grave and making my night feel a little less lonely in this spooky season. I dare say your voice keeps others at bay. They're not evil, just a bit annoying. I hope to hear from you some other night. Blue Tarkman 9070, I genuinely appreciate you taking the time to drop by on the first episode to share this wonderful message. I hope the Midnight Radio can continue reaching you from between here and there and keeping you company as we go along. I'm glad to know that my voice keeps others at bay, but it would actually be interesting to know these others too. Someday, perhaps? But yes, thank you. Thank you for sending that in. I truly appreciate it. And this next one came from one of my socials. It says, this one comes from Blanket, and Blanket says, Quick question for the ghost that never rests. Who would win? Pennywise or me, Makeeya? I would probably propose working with Pennywise, to be honest. I would gladly aid in his win, and perhaps ask for his autograph or something. I'm a huge fan, and we have the same smile, don't you think? Thank you, sleepless souls, for sending your words into the dark, for sending your words here into the Midnight Radio. You'd be surprised how many letters sound the same. Though written by strangers, they all say, I'm tired, I'm lonely, I just want to be okay, I just want to be heard. Some, on the other hand, send in some lighthearted curiosities. I genuinely appreciate the questions and the kind words. And you know what? At the end of the day, maybe that's what connects us. Personal feelings, genuine curiosities, and just an overall sense of belongingness. Even in different worlds, we share the same longing. You know, sometimes I think about the night itself. How it holds everyone's secrets. The things we hide from the day comes alive in the dark. The longing, the regrets, the little memories that never learned how to rest. But you know what? Maybe that's what nights are for. A place to feel what daylight tells us to ignore. And that's why I also broadcast at night here at the Midnight Radio. If you're lying there right now, staring at the ceiling, wishing you could just stop thinking for just a little while, it's okay. You don't have to fix anything tonight. You just have to breathe. Breathe with me. Come to think of it, I also wonder what really separates the living from the death. Is it the heartbeat? The breath, or just the belief that one side matters more than the other? The truth is, I think we all haunt something. A place, a memory, a version of who we used to be. And maybe that's okay. Being haunted just means you lived, you loved, and felt deeply enough to leave echoes behind. So if you're awake tonight, thinking about old faces or old pains, maybe the veil's thinner for you too. Whisper the names in the dark. Whisper the memories into the dark. The night hears you, I promise. And we hear you here at the Midnight Radio. Okay, so, on a lighthearted note, I've become more active in the digital space recently, and you guys have left some really interesting comments. I see them. I see them all. Yes, I've been browsing and I've been reading each one. But other than that, I've also asked around how people honored or celebrated Halloween nights. And I've got some really interesting responses. Blanket says, well, I'm not a fan of costume wearing, but I do like to visit the graves of dead relatives and give them things that they used to like when they were alive. That's really nice. I think that would be a really touching thing to do, and I think the dead would definitely appreciate that. They would love to see you guys, remember them in the best way possible. Cyphernia also says, by visiting them and after, I would drink with my friends or just stay and talk with the rest of the fam. That's nice that you kind of like blend both the living and the dead in a way. You make sure that they are remembered, even if you have other plans for the day. Rimuru Tempest says, visiting our dead relatives and bringing them food, drinks, and their favorite things, or spending the whole day in the cemetery. It's actually really touching that you would allow or would allocate a longer time for our dearly departed. At least it's gonna be a day that honors them, and you are honoring them by doing the things that you just said. Chaz VT here says, watching horror movies as a marathon. I absolutely love watching horror movies. And I think that's a really interesting way to celebrate Halloween too. Whether you're visiting your dearly departed relatives, or just enjoying the day watching horror shows or horror movies, or just really being in the spooky season, then I definitely think that's a good way to just honor the day as well. And last but definitely not the least, we have Just Bread, who says, I don't celebrate Halloween. That's totally fine, that's totally fair. Not a lot of people do, and I think just by simply being yourself and just enjoying the day in the best way that you can, that's one way to celebrate the holiday too. So I hope you have a good one. And to those who sent in their comments and their ways of celebrating Halloween, I truly appreciate it. I truly appreciate the time you took to kind of like interact with me and engage for this episode. Aww. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have left for the second episode of the Midnight Radio. But before I fade back into static, I want to leave you with this. Whether you walk under the moonlight or rest beneath it, tonight we are all the same. We are all stories, just trying to be remembered. So, light a candle, say a name, remember a memory. Forgive a ghost, even if that ghost is you. The dead aren't something to fear, not at all. They're reminders that love never really ends. It just changes shape. And you, my dear listener, are a proof of that. Because here you are, still listening, still breathing, still brave enough to care. Once again, this has been the Phantom Broadcaster, Makeeya of the Midnight Radio, broadcasting from the edge of the afterlife to remind you that the dark isn't lonely. It isn't lonely at all. It's just full of souls, still learning how to shine. Until the next one, sleep well, dream deep, and don't let the shadows get lonely.